From an early age, many of us are told about the benefits of being able to play a musical instrument. And even going into adulthood, many of us are able to understand and even appreciate the high levels of skill and craftsmanship that musical performers and instrumentalists are able to exude on sometimes a daily basis. And in a society that's ever reliant on menial tasks like clocking out a spreadsheet at an office or scrolling through TikTok for hours and hours on end, it's important that we are able to challenge ourselves cognitively and creatively, and that we have a proper avenue for creative expression. And music is a very, very good way of tackling all these problems together. I've been a musician for almost half my life, and in that time, I've played with hundreds of other musicians, and many or all of us could say that we've picked up skills from being able to play instruments that we're able to transfer into aspects of our lives that have nothing to do with music at all. And because of these skills, me and, again, many other musicians have decided that we're going to play and perform music for the rest of our lives. The effects of musical literacy on the brain and cognitive development, especially in younger children, can't be understated at all. There's so much that goes into playing music, from being able to play the pitch well to being able to play it in the same way the other musicians are playing it, potentially dozens of other musicians on the same stage. Being able to play in the same style, and not only that, but being able to read sheet music is almost like being able to read another language. Each of these lines, dots, and squigglies on this page mean something, and knowing what they mean is required to be able to play the piece of music properly. And each of these dots are a separate note. And for instrumentalists with keys, like a flute, you have to know what the fingerings are for each of those notes to be able to play the music at all. And in Mary Had a Little Lamb, there's only 7 separate notes, but you have to be able to keep track of so many things, like the fingerings, for those 7 notes to be able to play the music at all. And all of these tasks together require a huge level of focus and problem solving and switching between tasks quickly and efficiently. And Gab in 2014 found exactly this. It strengthens areas of the brain associated with these kinds of skills. And it also, being able to play a musical instrument strengthens areas of the brain not only with these executive functioning systems, but also with obviously auditory system, your motor system, and even your emotional system are all strengthened through playing musical instrument. And the neuroscientist Patel developed the opera hypothesis. And opera in this case is an acronym which stands for overlap of music, overlapping music skills in everyday life, such as language, memory, and attention. Precision is which playing in tune, playing the right key, playing in the same way, balancing with the dozens of other musicians. And the other 5 letters stand for emotion, repetition, and attention, which are known to promote neuroplasticity. And neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to be able to adapt through situations that may change in your life through experience, which is important for anybody, non-musicians and musicians alike. It's also found that musicians who started at an early age have a larger corpus callosum than people who aren't than non-musicians at all. And the corpus callosum is a network of fibers that connects your left and your right side of the brain, which means that musicians in general are able to their brains are able to communicate with itself better and able to transfer signals better, quicker, and more efficiently. And music has many benefits, cognitive benefits backed with empirical evidence, but also has a lot of benefits on the soul and personal fulfillment. My best memories are of my best performances. Even to just reach a fraction of how I felt during those performances is what drives me as a person, not only a musician, but in every aspect of my life. It also helped me conquer stage fright and anxiety. Playing on music, playing a musical instrument on stage, especially playing a solo, is very anxiety-inducing, and it's helped with public speaking, but it's also been able to help with situations like taking a test in a small room where a proctor is judging you. Anxiety can have so many negative implications on so many aspects of your life outside of music, and performing music has helped me conquer these fears. It also helped me learn discipline and how to practice well. It takes a lot of discipline to be able to practice for sometimes hours a day. And as my band director used to say, practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes permanent. Perfect practice makes perfect. And I'm able to practice perfectly now in studying, in being able to fix my car, in so many aspects of my life that have nothing to do with music at all. And despite these obvious benefits, there are those who would disagree with music being included in our schools. For example, John McDaniel states that many are concerned with the expense of music in an already constrained budget for public schools. And not only that, but parents have to spend money on instruments, instrument repairs, instrument equipment, band fees or other musical program fees, and possibly even private lessons. All these expenses add up for parents. Some also argue that it detracts from academics. They say that anything that isn't academic, should not be included in the schools. Anything that is not academic should be included outside of the schools. And from personal experience, I know many people, even in college, who play or practice their instrument more than they study, and their grades suffer because of it. Some also say that it promotes competition between peers, unhealthy competition, which could lead to so many other negative aspects of your life. And it could also may lead to loss or theft of important musical and expensive musical items. And what I have to say to all this is, if you weren't going to study, and if you weren't going to study, then music has nothing to do with you not studying. You weren't going to study whether you were a musician or not. And things get lost and stolen all the time. Of course, it's a high-value argument, such as a multi-$1,000 flute is a very pretty item to steal, but it shouldn't be a reason to not have music in the schools. And the issue of budget expenditure is indicative of a much larger nationwide issue that has been debated for decades, that has nothing to do with music at all. And so it shouldn't be an argument for or against music. And so today I talked about how the musical performance and instrumentalists have strengthened areas of the brain. I've also talked about how they have benefits on the soul. And I presented my counter argument to the counter argument of why music should be included in the schools. And I'd just like to say that music is more than industrialized pop and lo-fi steady beats. It can be the difference between an idle mind and one with incredible focus and determination. Thank you.